When I was in the third grade, there seemed to be a lot of commotion in the house. It was different than the normal stuff that went on with 10 people living in the same house. I heard Mrs. Lewis's name come up a lot. I went to school, and people came in and out of my classroom looking at me, asking Mrs. Lewis questions, and sometimes taking her out into the hallway to talk. She always looked so sad when she came back. She would often look at me, smile slightly, but look away. When she did that, I remember feeling I was a big disappointment to her. I didn't read well, you see, and was very slow to complete most of my schoolwork. In the midst of all these things, my mother came to me and explained all that was going on. The school, she said, felt I would have an easier time of it if I were placed in their classroom for retarded children. Mother said that was not going to happen, but she did promise the school that we would work really hard on my schoolwork and my reading. From that day, through the completion of the 9th grade, my mother and I sat and worked each night during the week on my schoolwork. I'm telling you, the exercises were not easy. In the beginning, the reading was excruciating. We would painstakingly cover the words on one page. Mother would help me sound out the unknown words and work with me on my comprehension. She would make bargains with me. She would read 2, maybe 3 pages if I would just finish reading that one. She would cheerfully offer incentives too. And one night each week, she would read the entire assignment to me, so all I had to do was listen. Whenever it was her turn to read, she'd pull me up close to her. Despite the heavy tears, the attempts at tantrums, and the sincerest pleadings to stop hanging in the air around us, her voice was calm. Her voice was still, like clear water. It was devoid of any anger. Yet she read so expressively about the antics of Dick and Jane that I didn't need a picture to see Spot run or to see Jane fly that kite. The most horrifying reality, however, was that when I turned a page in that same book, only seconds after reading the very same words on the page before it, it all looked totally different to me. All that we had covered and all that we had accomplished just moments before was lost. It was as if I had never seen any of those words before in my life. We would have to start all over again, painstakingly sounding out those words. Hard as I tried, I just couldn't keep those words in my head. As sick to my stomach as I become remembering the difficulty of those sessions, what I recall just as clearly is the sound of my mother's soothing voice, encouraging me to keep trying to get it. I could feel her hand gently making circles in the middle of my back and sometimes wiping away my tears so that I could see. I remember the end of those sessions when my mother would take me up into her arms and envelop me in her assurance that I would get better at reading. I remember, too, the silken armor of confidence she draped over me as I expressed my concern for reading aloud in class. She said so matter-of-factly, "Simply do your best, Linda. You'll do fine." Today, I say thank you to my mother for believing in my abilities and having the stamina to make such a commitment to me. Not only did I learn to read, I learned to write and encourage others to think.
Thank you.